Hello, it's Elle, and I have not one, not two, but three packages from Raintree Nursery to open right now. So first and foremost, I have my helpers, Feist, Fenry, and Freya. I just got back from the plant nursery, so I just bought a bunch of stuff, but I especially got some more compost so I can plant my trees, make sure they're fed, make sure they have the good nutrients to help them wake up. So a lot of these trees are going to be 4 to 5 foot bare root trees, right, Feist? Yes. And yeah, we're going to have to plant them and they're going to start waking up. All right. Now I also got another plant t-shirt, so let's go ahead and open it up and see what it looks like. So here we are. All right, so this is the last one I bought, I swear. Oh, I love it. Okay, so it says full of life, and it has a bunch of plants and a skeleton decomposing in the soil. The circle of life, for sure. I love the gold color with the green. Green and gold is just so simple, beautiful, yet ornate. Such a nice combination. I got this in a size medium because I like my t-shirts to be a little bit large. So yeah, not bad. I'm going to keep this shirt on for now just because I've already been moving around in this shirt, picking up compost, getting flowers from the nursery, and we'll keep that nice and clean for next time. Let me place this to the side. Maybe hang it a little down in the background. All right, full of life. Yes, these trees will be. Let me get some scissors real quick. Time just really got away from me. Today, I got lost at the plant nursery. I saw so many things. I wanted so many things. I spent more than I wanted to. And I definitely have a bias in flower color. Okay, let's just use the scissors like so. So let's see what's in this first package. You helping me out, Freya? Okay, I'm going to turn it. Watch your paws. Watch your paws. Oh, forgot. Hey, Feist. She's just trying to help. Yeah, little plant helper. So I believe these all should be pretty much single trees. Let's see what this first one is. Alright, come on, cardboard. Cooperate. Cooperate. Freya. Always such a joy. Alright, so this one, let's see what it is. Here's the tag. This is the Spice Z Nectar Plum. It's kind of a lot smaller than I anticipated, but the roots are wrapped up about 4 foot. So it does have the 4 feet. Let's take a look at the roots. So today I wore one of the last shirts I bought recently, and it says, all I need is coffee and plants. Now, if only I had a cat on there, that would be like my life perfectly summed up. Coffee, plants, and cats. All right. I don't want to cut any of the roots, so let's try to do this carefully. It's wrapped pretty tight. Come on, scissors. Might be a little difficult not to get at least one root. It's tightly wound. The roots still feel really moist. Freya, not a toy. Hey, not a toy. Baby, not helping. Not helping at all. So these kind of have been a pain. They're so tightly wound, but that's probably a good thing. It's very wet. Okay, let's try not to break any roots. Here are the roots going from here to here. Decent root size. Excuse me. Excuse me, Freya. Rude. Rude. All right, here's the first plant. Let's go ahead and set it like so. Move this slightly back behind me, out of the way. All right, next box. Box 2 out of 3 from Raintree. So far, I mean, last time I got a shipment of like 9 trees in 2 boxes. So that was my first pre-order that I did. I knew exactly what I wanted. But then I just kept adding to cart over time. Adding a tree here, adding a tree there. So while my first order was everything I intended, all these are separate transactions. It kind of sucks that it couldn't be combined. You know, we have all these boxes. Ooh, this one looks like it's going to be a good size. So I feel like the size consistency, I'm going to have to compare to, you know, my receipt. But this one, it has a thicker stem on it. So I'm very happy to see that like right away. And the roots are way bigger as well. And this is the Lapin's cherry tree. So I did have a Lapin's cherry tree that I got from Fast Growing Trees. I gave it a big chop and it died. So I needed another one. And instead of going through Fast Growing Trees, which does potted plants, I decided I would try Raintree because bare root trees are cheaper. You're just going to save so much more money. And honestly, since the last time I really shopped at Fast Growing Trees, their prices have just increased tremendously. All right, now this root system, it even has some roots popping up at the top. I hope they didn't dry out too much since that top root wasn't wrapped up. This is definitely a lot messier because my Stark Brothers roots were clean and they were just wrapped in newspaper versus this has like a gel to keep it moist and it's just getting everywhere. But amazing root system, great size tree. I'm very happy with the size of this Lapin's cherry tree. All right, another box out of the way. So push that forward. Yeah, I got this. It's like these, I don't know, maybe this is what they put in like diapers to absorb liquid, but it's kind of getting everywhere. All right, let's see. Where is the seam on this box? There we go. So far, I'm pretty happy with Raintree. Stark Brothers and Raintree have been a perfect affordable option to Fast Growing Trees. Everything arrives alive and in good condition. So let's pry this out of its plastic wrapped prison. Clouds in front of me having fun, scratching the box I just moved forward. Hey, Feist, is that one going to be your box? Everybody gets a box today. All right, so yeah, this is definitely messy. I might have done this outside. So that's like my only gripe is like the Stark Brothers was like wrapped loosely in plastic and wrapped around versus this is like duct tape around. And then Stark Brothers used newspaper clippings to keep it moist versus this is using some sort of water absorbent crystal to keep it moist. So like definitely open these outside if you don't want a mess all over your floor. Opening these Stark Brothers orders inside was a lot cleaner. This has nothing to do with the quality of the plants, just the way that they're packaged. All right, so this is the Royal Crimson Cherry, and I actually decided to buy this one after watching a video from Epic Gardening, because this is supposed to be a southern tolerant cherry tree. And so it'll be low chill and it'll tolerate my hot climate. What a mess. What a mess. All right, I'm happy with the size of this one as well. So 2 out of the 3 trees have a really good diameter trunk. It looks great. I'm happy with the root size. And the only one that I'm like, I wish it was a little bit bigger was the small one to the side. And this was the nectar plum. All right. Raintree, they did really good on my combination graft tree. My pluot tree, the rootstock was so thick. It was like the diameter size of my hand, and then they grafted a bunch of pluots. I was very happy with that size. All right, let's get this out of the way. Wash my hands a little bit. I'll probably have to sweep and mop, but that's okay. It's been raining on and off, so mud's gonna get tracked in anyway. So we have 3 boxes, 3 trees. Let's go ahead and get everything planted. So let's move outside. All right, so let's go ahead and get these trees planted and move into some background about the fruit trees, starting with this spicy nectar plum. So I had previously bought a 10-inch sleeve size of this tree. For myself, I got the semi-dwarf 4 to 5 foot tall tree. Now, what's really cool about this hybrid is it's half nectarine, 1/4 peach, and 1/4 Asian plum. So it's a plum nectarine peach cross. It is a self-fertile tree, so it can pollinate itself, and it's reported to be very productive with a low chill requirement, which is really great for my zone. This only needs 200 to 300 chill hours to bloom successfully, which is about what my area gets. When this tree starts to produce fruit, we should expect in August to September to have fruit. And as well, the Raintree Nursery website goes into more detail, which I really love. So it tells you exactly what rootstock you're getting. So fruit trees are grafted onto rootstock, and rootstock gives different characteristics to fruit trees. There's different rootstocks for different fruit varieties. So there's rootstocks for specifically cherries or apples. This rootstock, the Lavelle, is actually good for several species, which it's basically a hybrid of, so it's a rootstock for peaches, plums, and nectarines. So for the 4 to 5 foot semi-dwarf tree, the rootstock is the Lavelle, and for the 10-inch sleeve, it uses the Viking rootstock. For the larger tree, I paid $70 plus shipping. All right, so moving on to the Lapins cherry tree, I paid $60 plus shipping for a semi-dwarf 4 to 5 foot tree. This is also another self-fertile variety. It requires 500 chill hours though, so it is outside of what my area gets, but I'm hoping I'll get just enough so that it'll still be productive. And when we do get fruit, this is expected to produce in July. This is another self-fertile variety, and depending on which rootstock you get, whether it's a dwarf or a mini dwarf, so since I got the dwarf, it's on a Gisela 5. And this is a really common one for cherries. All right, and lastly, we have the Royal Crimson Cherry, which I was really excited to try once I learned about it. I love cherries, so finding anything that I am confident will do well in my area is just so exciting and amazing. So this is a self-fertile cherry, and it's also low chill, so it only requires 200 to 300 hours, and when it does produce fruit, it should produce in July. So this self-fertile variety is placed on a Maxima 14 rootstock. So technically this is my 4th, 5th, and 6th box shipment from Raintree. So check out my previous videos. I had my first Raintree shipment. I ordered a 4-in-1 grafted pluot. My second order was pretty large. I had 2 boxes shipped to me and they had multiple fruit trees within them. And this makes 4, 5, 6 out of my shipments from Raintree. I'm expecting one more package, but it's going to contain 4 trees inside, and I'm expecting that to ship out on the 1st of April, so be on the lookout. There's going to be another Raintree unboxing. Get some plant mail from Raintree and open up those 4 more trees, so definitely stay tuned. Honestly, so far, I'm pretty happy and pleased with this company. The only thing with this company is you do have to plan everything out. So a lot of what I bought was a pre-order for the 2024 spring shipping season. They are still taking orders for some states. However, my area in Texas, the last shipment date will be April. So it's basically like the last few weeks to order anything else. And after that, the next orders will be a pre-order for the 2025 season. So ordering from this company definitely takes a lot of planning and forethought for what you want for the next year. So just be aware and have a plan. Now later on in the video, I'm going to take, so since I basically prune the plants, I'm going to take the branches and label them and cut them out and store them. So we'll see that later in the video. I'm going to try to prepare some scions. Initially, I had put a Facebook post whenever I got my previous tree shipment, and I went ahead and pruned them for free cuttings of scions if anybody wanted to pick them up, but I didn't really get any responses. And so I did the same thing with this shipment. I went ahead and took trimmings and prepared the scions, and I mean, maybe this is the year I'm going to learn how to graft. That way they don't go to waste. So I just kind of did a quick Google search about how to prepare scions. So, you know, I'm learning and I'm not perfect, but, you know, I'm going to try my hand at it and maybe this will lead to grafting, which I've been wanting to try. I think grafting is so cool. I will say though, since everything is mostly pre-order with this company, getting a bunch of trees really fast, kind of like all at once if you didn't space out between when you purchase things or maybe you did like a one order of everything. It was kind of hectic to try to get everything planted once it started suddenly arriving to my door. But I know after this last shipment, you know, I'm cooling things down, so and then I'll refocus on my landscaping and creating a garden bed. So while the crunch time is now, I know just around the corner, I'll be able to just sit and relax and observe my new trees growing. From my local nursery, I get the Nature's Blend compost. So it's an all-purpose compost that I've been adding to my trees as well. And this will just help feed them and help them grow and be their best selves. Honestly, I'm not sure exactly what I want to refocus on whenever all of my fruit trees come in. I mean, aside from the landscaping, but I'm talking about like buying more edibles. I'm definitely going to be cooling things down and not buying anything for a while, but I will be brainstorming what I want to put my efforts towards next. For example, it'd be really cool if I could find a dwarf coconut tree. I've mentioned this before. If you have any suggestions that you think would grow really well in my area in zone 9 or that you're growing currently in a similar climate zone, let me know down below. I definitely want to try my hand at more things since I think it's really cool and exciting to be growing food. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at the finished results after planting and pruning my new fruit trees. So here's the Royal Crimson Cherry. And I went ahead and did a 2 to 3 foot heading cut and the Lapins cherry right next to it. So using backyard orchard culture methods to train my trees to grow small. And then here's the Nectaplum. So the 4 to 5 foot tree that I pruned is on the right. The 10-inch sleeve is on the left. The 10-inch sleeve is already waking up. It has a flower on it and a bunch of leaves. And as far as the trunk, I feel like the trunk diameter was about the same. So after pruning my 4 to 5 foot tree, I wonder if I should have just gotten 2 10-inch sleeves. Alright, so I've never done this before, but I am, trying to prepare some scion wood. So I figured since I trimmed my trees and there was quite a lot that I took off, I could try to save pieces of it to create scions. So use scions to graft the variety of fruit tree onto a rootstock. And so after doing a quick Google search, you basically want to collect your scion wood while the tree is dormant. And ideally, this is going to be on 1-year wood or last season's growth, as it is easier to work with and use. And while older wood will work, it's just not as easy to work with, as it'll be more rigid and harder to cut into. But that doesn't mean you can't do that. And then you also want to keep your scion cool and moist. So online it says to wrap it in a damp towel and put it in a plastic bag. So what I did is I got some paper towels and I ran them under water and I squeezed the excess water out, and then I wrapped the scions in that and then put that in a plastic wrap covering. So my plan is, especially with my pluaries, because I have 4 pluaries, I wanted to graft each variety onto each tree. So instead of having 4 trees, I'll have 4 trees with 4 varieties on it instead of 1 variety on it. And then I'll be able to give out the extra 3 and keep the 1 for myself. And this will also help me save space. And so one of the benefits of learning how to graft yourself is you also get to choose where on the tree you're going to be grafting onto, because I will say my 4-in-1 pluot tree, the graft was higher onto the tree, so it'll be a lot harder for me to control from size unless I start learning to graft myself, and I definitely want to. So maybe, I'll be able to do that later this year. We'll see. And last but not least, I grab everything and I place it in the refrigerator. All right, well, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And don't forget, go plant a tree.